Okay. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the MoxiEngage training session today. So we're going to review why MoxiEngage is so important. It is your customer relation management system. So it's very important because this can help you with your day-to-day activities. You know, a lot of real estate agents come into the office or, get up and work in their home office, but they feel like they don't know what to do. MoxiEngage is going to help you understand what you need to do on a daily basis. Okay. So each day when you get up, the first thing you should do is open up mycbdesk.com and go to MoxiWorks. MoxiWorks hosts your website, your customer relation management system, your presentation opportunities for both buyer and seller, and marketing. However, here at Caldwell Banker Premier Group, we also have cbpremiernet.net. So CB as in Caldwell Banker, premier.net. If you go on there, we also have internal marketing that you can use there. All you have to do is fill out the information, hit submit, and it goes to our marketing department. And within 3 days, any type of marketing that you want within the catalog that's there, they will have printed out and ready for you to go. Okay, so let's get into MoxiEngage. So once you go into Desk, you click on that MoxiWorks, then you click on Engage. It does take a minute to open up because these platforms are very large. There's large content with photos in them. So it does take a minute just for them to open up. Okay, so once you're in there, I do need to switch over to agent mode here. Once you're in here, the first thing that you should always do before beginning in your MoxiEngage is click on campaigns. So you need to build your catalog of campaigns that you want to automatically go out to either the consumers, the clients, or sphere of influence that you have in MoxiEngage. Okay, so first you need to click on Add from Library and scroll through the different items that you can put into your own library. The first thing that I want you all to focus on is the CB holiday campaigns for 2025. You can preview them, and I'm going to go ahead and open it up so you can preview them, or you can just simply add it to your library. So as you can see, it starts in January with Martin Luther King Day, and it goes through all the various ones throughout the year, and it ends with Happy New Year. So you can view each of them by clicking the arrow on the screen to each month, showing what that holiday is. Okay, so what a wonderful campaign to automatically go out to your consumers, your clients, your forever clients, and your sphere of influence, friends, family, church members, whoever you might want to add in there. Okay, so you would simply click on the Add to Campaign button down in the bottom right hand corner. So I'm going to go ahead and close this because I already personally have this in mind, and then you can just select from other ones. If you have buyers that you want to add to the campaign, so you've got buyer's agent campaign, you've got, homeowner update ideas, you even have it in different languages such as Spanish. The move meter is kind of an interesting one. The move meter is where people are more likely to move from state to state. So it's kind of fun to play around with that one and send it out to the consumers as well. If there's anybody that you would like to recruit from another company, do stay away from the anywhere corporations, which includes any other company that is Caldwell Banker, like Gundaker or Realty. Any of those we cannot recruit because we have an understanding that we're going to leave each other alone, okay? But you can recruit from, a Remax, a Berkshire, a Keller Williams. Stay away from Century 21 or Better Homes and Gardens and Sotheby's. All of those are anywhere companies, okay? So then you've even got in here sellers, okay? Expired sellers, for sale by owner sellers, cold sellers, people who are more likely to sell. So you can reach out to, and that might be your sphere of influence. That might be people that you know in your neighborhood who've been there a long time and have contemplated maybe a move in the future. So add those to your campaigns so you have your own library of campaigns, okay? So once you have those in there, and you can see I have a few in here. I've got recruiting. Obviously, I have the holiday campaign. I have buyers. I have homeowners and things like that in my library, okay? The next thing that you want to do is hover over people, okay? And just go ahead and go to my people. Once you're in my people, there's two ways to add people to your database. The first one I want to show you is click on Add People. I want you to go to Import Contacts. It's going to give you an explanation of how to do this. It gives you the instructions. The first thing that you need to do that is very important is to download the CVS file Excel spreadsheet. You are required to use that one and not some random one that you have built on your own. You can use that other one that you may have to download it into this one. But all of the titles at the top, okay, I'm going to make them a little bit bigger here. We'll make them just a little bigger so you can see them. Okay, they have to stay in the order that they are. Okay, first name, if there's a middle name, last name, company, if they don't have a company, you don't have to add it. Their street, their city, their state, their zip code, home phone numbers, mobile phone number. A lot of them don't have home, they are just the mobile, anniversaries, and so on and so forth. Again, all of those things do not have to be filled out, but if you know the information, do so. Make sure that you save it to your computer. When you do that, it must be in a CSV file. So it must be the CSV comma delimited file, okay? But make sure that you save it somewhere that you know you're going to find it back. My recommendation is always to have folders built in your document section so you know exactly where you're going to find anything. Okay, so always label it that you know you're going to find it. My recommendation is to always save it in your documents and create a folder for whatever you're saving, okay? And it needs to be the CSV comma delimited. If you need any assistance on that, let me know, okay? So that is one way to, I want to save this. That is one way that you can upload. Why is this not working? Bear with me just a minute here, everyone. Okay, so that is one way to upload your people. When you have that CSV file, that Excel spreadsheet saved, you're going to actually select this file, and then it will ask you to upload that file. Now, when you do that, it will take time. So my recommendation is to do it late in the day, maybe even before you go to bed, have your computer plugged in and turned on, and do that. By morning, all of your contacts will be in there. It doesn't take that long, but it just takes a little bit of time. So do it when you're not going to be working on your computer, okay? So after you do that, you're never done uploading people into your CRM, right? Because you're always going to be meeting new people. You're going to meet new people out at the parks for a walk, at events, maybe community festivals, at your church, anywhere that you're going to be. You're never going to be a silent agent, right? You always want to continue to meet people. And when you do that, you're always going to want to add them. But you've already downloaded or uploaded, I should say, that Excel spreadsheet. Once you do that, you won't need that anymore. Just save it in your computer and leave it alone, okay? You can then, after that, add people one at a time. So you can add a single contact, okay? So I'm going to add Norm Polsky. He's going to be thrilled that I am going to be dripping on him, right? Okay. You can put in as much content as you want. Obviously, you need a name. you're going to want a phone number, and you're going to want an email. It is not required to have those in there. However, if you're going to be doing it, I would recommend that you get an email at the least, because that way you can send out those automatic campaigns, right? Let's go ahead and put him in here. Okay. So, and if they have a current address, go ahead and put that in, especially if it's the home that they're going to be selling, right? Okay. If they have instant messaging, I have not played with that one yet, but you're certainly welcome to test the waters in this. I highly recommend that you add you first, and then add maybe a relative or a friend so you can kind of test it. Okay. You can add what the relationship is to them, a personal profile of them. If you have their social media platforms, go ahead and add those. Always make sure that you keep them as an active person, and I'll show you that in just a minute. So I'm done adding him, so I'm going to go ahead and click done. You can always add more later. Once you have them added, this is going to be what their profile looks like. Always keep everyone as a client. Never have anybody as a non-client. The reason being, when you set them up for a portal, okay, or an automatic campaign, if you have them as non-client, they won't get it anymore. So always keep them as non-clients. When you send things out to them and they unsubscribe to you, you will see how they have unsubscribed. And I'll share that with you in a little bit. Okay. So when you want to come in and make any edits, if you now have their email, if you now have their phone number, and that's your job each day to find that content, right? Because our job every day is to find those who need our services. But in order to do that, you've got to have their contact information, right? So you'll click the edit button, and that's where you can add that content later. Okay. So let's scroll down over here on the side. Notes. I love, love, love this. Each time you talk with somebody out there in the general public, or an expired, or a friend, or a sphere of influence, maybe a past coworker, maybe a high school classmate, or a college classmate that you haven't touched with in a while, but you have a conversation with them on the phone. I love the notes section, because now you can add that that maybe their dog's name is Paris. Children are Alexis and Jonathan. Okay. And maybe they're planning to move in 3 months. Okay. So why is it important to put in there their dog's name and their children's names? Because next time you talk to them, you roll back around to the conversation that you had before. How's little Paris doing? Is he quit chewing everything yet? Is Alexis walking yet? Or is Jonathan, last time we spoke, he was starting preschool. How did that go for him? Okay. The reason you want to bring those things up is because now you're building not just a relationship, but a relationship of trust. Because why? You are listening to them. Okay. So then just click done. Before you contact them the next time, you come in here and click on that notes, and you look through that. And then when you call them, you have all that information. You don't have to remember everything, because this is going to remember it for you. Okay. Activities. So whenever you have put together tasks for people, such as you're going to call them in a month and a half because they want to move in 3 months. You don't want to contact them in 3 months, right? Because that's probably when they already want to be moved. You want to call them in a month and a half. So in your activities, once you create tasks for yourself, so if you create a custom activity to remind yourself to do that, and if they have a campaign set up, you'll see those activities in here. Okay. You're also going to see that on the dashboard, and I'll get back to that in just a few minutes. Okay. So under the faves and saves, this is quite important. So you're going to create a search for them. No matter if they are buyers or sellers, you want to create the faves and saves for them so they can see the activity going on in the area that either they're going to be moving away from or purchasing in. Moving away from because you want to see what the sellers want to see what their competition is. So go ahead and set them up in the portal. Everyone always does it for the buyers. Why not the sellers so they can see what their competition is? Okay. It will help in pricing the home with them as well. You can even start that process, 3 months before they put their house on the market so they can see the activity and kind of get to understand what the market values are in that area. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and choose 63117 as our search. Okay. And actually, 63117. So then I'm going to select St. Louis and do the search. And so we have everything in the 63117 that is either for sale or has been sold. You can do a price adjustment here. Let's say a minimum of 350 and a maximum of 450,000. Okay. And we'll do select that. So now we have the homes in that zip code within the 350 and 600, or I'm sorry, $450,000 range. So it's everything from apartments to homes. Okay, so you can kind of see what that competition is. Okay, once you have that selected, by the way, forget about the beds and baths and all the filters. You really only want location and price range. The reason being is because for buyers, you're going to miss something. You will miss something if you start putting in the criteria. And let that consumer know. Let them know that less is more. Okay. The first initial email that's going to go out to them is going to have an enormous amount of properties that they're going to see. And they're going to say to you, Lori, you're sending me stuff I don't want to see. But explain to them before they even get it, you're going to see things that are on the market right now that you don't want to see. And I understand that, but I don't want to miss something that might be an opportunity for you. Today, there will be a lot. Tomorrow, there might not be any. The next day, there might only be one. The following day might be 3, and then you might have 0. So on and on. It'll be less each day that it comes out. But you always want to think less is more for them. Okay. So then you select the email and settings. Okay. So we've got our area, and you can change this to, let's see, selling in 2025. And this is only going to be seen by the consumer that you're sending it to. Okay. It's going to Norm. He's got an email message. I've created a save search for you in St. Louis. Take a look around and feel free to make changes. So once it goes to them, they have the ability to go in, have a login, and change the criteria if they want. I would also say on here, be careful about the selection of filters as it could eliminate some that could be potential good comparables. Less can be more. Okay. I spelled that wrong, but that's okay. All right. Choose how often they want to see it. Obviously, when you're setting this up, you don't want to click never, right? That kind of defeats the purpose. Hourly is too much. They don't want to be bombarded with emails. So I would say daily because weekly isn't enough. Maybe for a seller, but certainly not for a buyer. Okay, so I would keep it once a day because then that way they don't have an enormous amount that hits them in a week. And for buyers, you're going to miss something because right now homes will go fast. And you definitely don't want to do it weekly because they will miss out on quite a few opportunities, okay? If you want them to receive an email daily, regardless if there is anything that pops up, you would want to select this that says send no new listings email when it equals 0 to update. Then you would click save and send, okay? I'm not going to do this in this instance because I don't want Norm to receive those emails. I can always come back and do it for him if he would like to see it regardless, okay? Now, the presentations, this is going to be, if you want to create a presentation through the Moxie Present in here, you can do it directly from here. I have not done that yet, so what my recommendation to you is to play around with it. But Danielle Kempf does a great job in our training, which is going to be tomorrow, Thursday, here at the Big Bend office on June the 12th at 1 o'clock. So you're welcome to come in and join her. She does a great job. In addition to that, 9 o'clock tomorrow morning on June the 12th, Jim Kempf will be doing the listing presentation. So I encourage you all to join both of them tomorrow at 9 and 1 o'clock, okay, here at the Big Bend office. But she will be going over that Moxie Present, and she will be entering it a different way, but you can do it through here as well. Okay, so let's get to the subscriptions. All right, so we can add campaigns through here, or we can go to our dashboard, which I'm going to do in this case. I'm going to go to my dashboard, and this is where you can see each day when you come in what to do. So it's staying in the flow. It's recent contact information, interactions, your to-do list, your calendar that links to your Outlook email calendar. So start getting used to using your Outlook calendar, okay? Because it will link straight to your MoxiEngage. Sales flow, what your sales flow is showing, what your goal for 2025 is, and then your listings that will link to this as well. Okay, why are we saying stay in the flow? Defining stay in the flow means the frequency of interaction. How often are you staying engaged with people? So it's telling you each day when you open up your MoxiEngage, reach out to these 5 people today. I know it's showing 4, but if you pull the bar over, there's a 5th person here, okay? So you can reach out either email, through sending them a neighborhood news, which I love, which is a monthly market update to the area that they are focusing on. Okay, I send it to myself for Washington, and I love seeing all the activity that went on through the month, and consumers love it too. Or you can go ahead and set them up on a campaign. There's another way to do that that's a little bit easier and quicker to do it for everyone, and I'll show you that in a minute, okay? So when you're done, you can mark it as done, or you can skip over it. Don't skip over it. And my thinking is to not just email them, but to pick up the phone and call them, okay? Because that's how we build relationships. Email, texting is fine. A phone call or a visit is even better yet. Face-to-face is number 1. Voice-to-voice is number 2. But, you know, the texting and the emailing, I would put at the bottom of the list. Always a good idea to do, but that voice-to-voice and even more so face-to-face is always better, okay? We can't be secret agents, as Norm Polsky always says, right? So recent contacts, you'll see that, you know, so 5 days ago, this person opened my email. So this is the campaign that I'm sending out to them. This one opened it, the same person opened up another one that I had sent out about marketing performance. So this one is culture, and this one's marketing performer. These are campaigns that I put into my library of campaigns, okay? So you can see all that activity. And then here's where you can add a task. I'm going to call Norm in a month and a half to talk to him about putting his house on the market in 3 months, okay? So you want to do that so it will show up on here as an activity that you need to do that day, okay? Then scrolling down is your calendar that links, your sales flow, your goal, and then your listings. So now, not to be last, but this is the last item I'm going to talk to you about today. So go into your people and hover over my people again. after you have added your people. And here's where you can set up campaigns for them, okay? You can do it in their profile personally, okay? You can do it from your dashboard in your sales flow or your stay in the flow. But if you want to do everybody at the same time, you or pick and choose who you're going to send a certain campaign to, because not everybody is a seller, not everybody is a buyer, not everybody is somebody you want to recruit, but it might be somebody who everyone might be a holiday campaign, okay? You can either go through and select one by one, or you can select all your people. Once you select all your people, you're going to go to add to and select campaigns. Okay, so add to after you've selected everyone, add to campaigns. Then your library of campaigns are going to show up on the right-hand side, and you would select which campaigns you want everyone to go to. So you would select the CB holiday campaign after you've put that in your library, and then click done, and those will automatically go out to everyone in your database. You have set it and you have forgot it. Now, each year at the end of the year, the new holiday campaigns for the new year will come out, and you'll need to renew that for everyone because the 25 will end, so you need to pick up the 26, okay? Now, let's say you want to find somebody, one of your people in your profile. So in your filter, you're going to, let's see here, I think mine is not in there. Oops. So I'm going to select Norm Polsky, who is in my database. Okay. So if you don't know where they're at and you don't want to scroll through all of them, you would simply type in their name and select it. And from here, you can click on their name, and now you're back in their profile. Okay. So let's go back here. Okay. So here again is where you can find your people, add them to campaigns, and those campaigns will be automatic. Okay, so let's go back in to their profile. Okay, I just want to make it clear that when you're in their profile, you know where to set up the automatic searches. Okay, we talked about the campaigns, and then we talked about the automatic searches for both buyers and sellers. The reason I like MoxiEngage for the portals for buyers and sellers is because it's branded to you and it takes them to your website. When you send it from the local MLS, which is Maris for us, it only goes to Maris. And I do know that agents do prefer that, and I'm not knocking it. I think it's a great tool. The only difference is with the faves and saves, they go to your website. And after they've seen what they have seen, now they can tool around in your website. That not only helps them see that you are a true realtor and it brands to you and it links to everything, it also builds your SEO, which is your search and engine optimization, and Google loves that. Okay. So if you have questions, please reach out after the meeting. My email is Lori, Lori, at cbphomes.com. I hope you all enjoyed this today. Have a great day. And if you need to reach out, please do so. Have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.